MaaziEzeoke, another promise made to us in 2022 is hereby being fulfilled. That I will come back in 2023 to drive and walk along all the streets as I did in 2022 to bring to us updates of activities as regards to projects by the government of Professor Charles Soludo, who promised to start his governance in Okpoko as he took over from Obiano in 2022. And here am I, the promise is about to be fulfilled. Here, I am only on a fact-finding mission for the world to see. If Soludo is doing anything, we will see it, not only on camera, we would also speak to people who are residents here, people who sleep here for more than 300 days every year. They wake up in Okpoko and they sleep in Okpoko. For those of you who are new to this platform and haven't watched the 2022 video, please like, share, subscribe to On NjenjeMediaTV. Check the description of this video. You will see the link to the part 1 made in 2022, the original version. And by all means, share this video with all your family, your friends, your enemy, if you have any. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. This is the current status of Okpoko Road in Okpoko. I would suggest to anyone who is pregnant not to use keke on this road if you want to avoid miscarriage. However, towards the end of that road heading to Ata, you have some sections that are not bad, exactly where we are now. But at the beginning of it, near the relief market, that was a terrible place. Again, I learned in this video by speaking to the people who are resident in Okpoko that there are areas the government of Professor Charles Soludo is really doing some great works. What we are going to do in this video is to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. We will start by going back to the Sakamori. According to my keke driver, this place was briefly cleared when Professor Soludo took over, but now it's returned back to the status quo. Dirt has taken over the place once more. Pigs are back. It's like the way it was in 2022. We are riding into Okpoko through Ogwago Street, a popular street in Okpoko. Many of you who have visited this area would know. Again, walking down, or rather driving down this street a year after, there is absolutely no change in these areas. Maybe the government would eventually come and do something at these areas. Again, some would even question, what could government do aside from roads? Ogwago Street. This is a very bad portion in that street that has failed totally. But my keke driver has a way of maneuvering these small islands of water. At this point, I asked him to park because I've noticed something that appears to be a work being done recently. You know, the Sakamori gutter, constructed in the late 90s or mid-90s, had its water channel towards the Ederu River and the River Niger. On your right, you can see the huge refuge dump that I had to climb in order to get a better view. This water channel goes to GMO, Iowa, or Ederu. One will believe that the water channel that is being constructed here will lead directly into the Sakamori gutter, and where you have this water collection would eventually be filled in to have, or to create, or rather to recreate the old road that led to Nketako, or as some will say, GMO. Well, for argument's sake, let us argue that the government is doing something that will keep us coming back. That means we'll have an appointment already for the year 2024. If the Lord tallies, we will come and see what the government has done. Now, I am heading into Okpoko proper. I'll walk the streets I walked before, Isukwata Street, Agwata Street, towards Mogambo, Item Street. These are the places I walked in 2022, and I'm going to do that again for us to know if the government is living up to expectation, as they promised us that they were going to start governance in Okpoko. Yes, we must give it to the government, because the government, as promised, started its governance from Okpoko, and they started clearing refuge from day one. That is kudos. But what the people are also saying in Okpoko is very simple. That after that, what appeared to be a show, nothing really has happened in terms of refuge collection. That's why you will see refuge dump in Okpoko at every point you look. You would also notice in this video, when I begin to interview the people who are residents here, that some of them also, on their own without prompt, argue that the greatest thing happening in Okpoko today is lack of refuge collection. Okpoko is not left alone in this. Even in the city of Oka, they complain about the same thing. Onitsha is also not left out. So, government, know it that you are not doing enough in terms of refuge collection. Our job here is to expose things where they fail, not for fun, but with the hope that government will learn to work for Maazi, all of us.
1 year after, I've come back again. These are the streets I walked the last time I came, and I'm walking those streets again. Biko, sorry, sister, K Street today here.
Amarama.
Ibe. Sister, K Street today here. Aniago Street. Okay, thank you. Well done.
man on red has been following me like a police officer. At some point, I had to stop and ask him, Oga, why are you following me? His explanation is that he thought I was tracking phones that his son lost his phone. Sadly, I couldn't help.
So, Olugo 1 year. This is 1 year now that Professor Soludo took over as a governor. What's your take? We can see the roads that he promised to do 1 year after. Has he done any of the roads within your area?
Okay, he has been trying. As you can see, everybody that living at Okpoko here knows that Soludo has been trying to road construction, but other aspects like taxes, we are not sure that he's trying out for taxes.
So he's taxing you people too much.
Like ANSEPA and the security is our challenge we are getting here. ANSEPA. There's no way. There's like unlike before during the time of Obiano. Trust is going street by street to take refuse. But since he came in as a governor, there's nothing like that. People have been suffering. From here, you can see from Mugambo any inside Okpoko here to Interwell, people are finding it difficult. To weigh their refuse. Then you see all the gutter is blocked because people cannot live with dustbin. They have to weigh their dustbin inside gutter. Then you see that all the gutter blocked in Okpoko here. At least when you go to Ederu, you can see there's a lot of improvements. The other roads, what's called the name of that road to AP, the roads they have been trying, but past leper bees the challenge we people are getting, so we are suffering that. If you can prove in such areas, we believe that our votes, we get our votes in 2000 after this tenure, we get our vote again.
So, in what you're saying, in essence, that he should improve on the tax collection.
Yes.
And
reduce the
so
tax.
He's taxing you people too much.
The tax is much.
But you don't think is your tax being used for anything? You think your tax is being used for something?
For now, as you can see, there's a lot of improvements in terms of road infrastructure during the time of Obiano and his regime. 1 year in office. If I can rent him higher than Obiano during his own regime. You understand? So the area will try and help the commoners. Area of tax. Like you can see inside market here, there's a lot of petty traders. As you can see refuse. Those days it's not like that. Look at refuse here and then. Look at the streets. You can see the streets. How dirty it is. Had it been that truck that are coming to pick those dirties, all this is can be like this. You can see all this refuse. Look at the gutters. If rain fall, all this place will be full with refuse. So if you can be able to bring trucks that will pick in this at least 2 times in a week is enough. If you are paying for ANSEPA, you know why you are paying. Are you getting me? So you can't charge people to pay, whereas they are taking their refuse from all the way from here to Interwell. Not everybody will do that. Not like as I am now. I don't have any person in my shop now. I can't live here and carry this from here to that place. So all these women are paying people that carry almost 200 or 300 naira, almost 2 times in a week. The challenge is much.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have heard him. He is amongst the very few that really agreed to speak on camera. Many would mutter whatever they are thinking about the governor or the government of Anambra State without wanting to put their face to camera. I thank him for doing that. You heard him right, that one of the things they suffer is that the refuge are not being collected. And you can see that as evident everywhere you go in Okpoko. Refuge dump at every single corner.
Which one now?
At this point, permit me to also call the people out here. The people are not animal. It beats me and it beats me silly that the people would want to desecrate their environment. Looking at this, one could wonder, why are the people not really doing their own bit? Yes, there is no gutters, as we call them, or water channels that are properly constructed here, but they could do themselves the basic thing of clearing their environment. In fact, it is a total mess. The government has failed. The government is failing in all spheres in this area. But the people appear to be the one failing themselves more. Even where there are gutter channels, you will still see that the people dump refuge in these water channels. Why are the people like this? When I asked the people, when I asked the residents, some of them actually agreed off camera that the most aggressive thing here happening is ignorance. That many of them do not understand the consequences of when it rains, dumping their refuge in the rain, because they do not actually know where it's going to end up. This is once more Agwata Street, an abandoned property. Number 20, number 18, abandoned property, littered everywhere. And the question is, how can the government help?
In Elemanya. Ogwan ele the manya. Eh? Go says board. Okay. So all of people who go, he deliver. Basically, he will delivery boy. Okay. So Kego no making a one crate. Eh? No, the Ego based on the game now. 100 naira can you love crate. On 100 crates a day. So 100 crates we know make 10,000 gain. So abona about to ko akedonye na ebun kedonye obulos ya. So, kedonye bu governor Anambra State. Huh?
Tinubu.
Huh? President. Okay, Soludo governor.
President, no president.
Okay, president elect. Yeah, man. Okay. Governor Anambra Soludo. Soludo is not going to lose on Anambra. On paper now. Paper now.
You said, oh, side street na Iron Street. Side Ojota. Side Ojota, Iron Street.
On a Ojota. So, it's a Soludo na Obiana Konyeka Wemma.
Na Samoa, Amao.
There's
a more Cabra Beba.
Iba Cabra, KBC.
Imo State.
Imo State. Eh? Kebon Imo.
Mbitoli.
Eh? Mbitoli. So, it can be a Buka. Okay. So, one. See,
Oh, video.
Everything now to Konya.
I don't know.
If you know, can I be Buka? Obiana Mapo, Arama,
Bob, the Adama, of video beer.
I have no video now.
By address of my music.
Now, 5 or 9 in other one, you know, if you are but Imego Johnson now. Imego Johnson. Madam, good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon.
I'm
1 year they have Soludo. Well, to this now, But so be dodge, just know no corner. Get you know since 1 year after. Gapa street I know.
Yeah, number 4 is quarter.
This is quarter. Soludo won't get home alone over.
I think this is Sad Mugambo. Anambra.
And we had on the side of the
Abu Mugambo, Ederu, sorry. Ederu. Sad in the word, I do go to Anambra.
Okay, side the
Ederu.
okay. Anum na ọ na-alụ na Ederu. Okay, Ederu bụ ndị da well. Wadum ga-eje ebe a. Mana side a kita agụata isukwu atọ nwebe ihe ọlụ ebe.
Onwe mgbe okwu na arụ isukwu, agụata isukwu.
Ọrụ Okpoko ka ọ bụ.
Okpoko na ebe ile ka arụ Okpoko.
Okpoko nwe ebe a na-ahọrọ ahọrọ ebe a na-alụ.
Ọbụna na-arụ Okpoko niile mana Peter Obi ka ya eru Okpoko. Peter nwe ebe ọrụ Okpoko ka ma Obianọ nwe ebe ọrụ Okpoko.
So mana ihe nna akụ bụ na ọ ka ndị nke ọzọ mma.
Ọ ka too much.
Ọ ka ndị nke ọzọ.
Ọ ka ndị niile mma. Ọ nọ ọrụ Okpoko. Ọ na-arụ rutere 8 street Okpoko.
So ọ bụrụ na nje Ederu na ngafe ebe ọ na-arụ.
Ọfụma na ebe ọzọ. Ma mgbuka amazi. Ma eze Mbadi. Ma mụ side ya. Ojo Otolen.
Obodo ukwu na nwere ihe na ebe a. Obodo ukwu dị.
Obodo ukwu.
Ọ na-alụ n'obodo mana nke a bụ nke mba agbamfọ.
Chọọ ebe ọ na-arụ ọfụma ọ ka nkụ and ọchọ eti ya febụrụ Okpoko febụkwa Anambra steeti ebe ọ nọọrụ ebe Soludo nọọrụ ka nkụ even ka o si wee na-arụ ọrụ ka m si wee na-afụ ebe ọ na-arụ ọrụ sefụ ọ ya aka ndị niile ma Peter Obi ma Obianọ banye ịrụ ụzọ ọ ya akacha ha nje enye wee rụọ obodo and I believe na ọchị Soludo febụrụ Okpoko banye ịrụ ụzọ n'ebe niile m na-afụ ọ nọọrụ na ebe ọ nọọrụ na rutere ebe 9th Street. Yes.
So kedu ihe ilokwanụ mgbe ọ si atụnyere Peter mgbe a na-atụ election ọ si atụnyere Peter Obi.
Anyway, ihe mụa fili na o ji okwu ya forget about ihe m fili na o ji okwu ya based on ndị Hausa ama nkwe enye ya enye Peter Obi.
Ama nkwe enye Peter Obi magazine.
Maka na na Hausa ha etiri Igbo and onye asa wee nọ onye
na Hausa ha etiri Igbo why is ga-eji sisi onye zi na nwanne gị maka na Hausa ama nye.
Ihe mụa ji wee kwu ya na ya nwere word of provision ọ ma na ha nwa ama nkwe enye ya na o jesi na anyị abịara tọọ nwa anyị ahụfụ ịbịa si na
atụrụ Peter win ya bụ election.
Ihe o kwuru okwu na nasa mere awụ na ihe ahụ ọ dịka ọ pụrụ ihe a dịka ọzọ ọ ma na ekwere enye ha agaghị enye ya ọ ma na politiks na Naịjirịa awụ nyere ọchị n'otu ntọrọ Chukwu anọla politiks ọ ma na ha ama nne ya ọ ya ka o ji ekwu ya enye nne ya nna ọ ga-na-eme politiks na Anambra ọ bụrụ na Peter Obi chịwa na Naịjirịa na obodo a ga-adị mma anaghị ka ha eji nchọ enye maka amaghị na Peter Obi banye dị na Naịjirịa na ndị a na-erite aka azụ na Naịjirịa ya astọpụsị ha ndị aka azụ.
I believe Peter Obi achịkwa ma tupu mebere nye anyị dị ọchịchị dị ya chetara ebe nye ọchịchị.
So you believe na ọ bụrụ na enye Peter Obi
why not? Achịkwa ihe na-ekwu ụlọ na ihe acting weta ma ha stọf
mana election unu believe na Peter win election.
Peter Obi bụ onye win election even na onweghị ma even na Hausa mana o win ọchị anaghị eme eji wee nye third maka na ama na enye second enye ọpụta were
how many states go win?
O win Lagos and onye win Lagos and FC to win.
I win.
And I believe no ya Hoyachi.
Yes.
Keke o esisi chini.
Magic.
Ihe ji wee chebu na ọ ya nwere onwe win na oche mana o win ya na ka o ji wee gbaa akwụkwọ ahụ maka na ọ bụrụ na ọ ma na o win ọ ga-esi na tọd enyere ya wee jegba.
So you believe na akwụkwọ ọgba ga-work?
Yes, akwụkwọ ọgba ga-work ihe maka ihe akwụkwọ ọgba ahụ eji wee work ụwụ na ọ ma na o win and ọ ma na ndị niile tụrụ ma botu ma ndị North sọpọtụrụ ka ọ chịa and ama na ọchị ahụ ga-efe for everybody and ọ ma na ọ ya win and ọ ya ma o ji wee jee win because
this actually in cultural system if one cultural system what is
At this point, it is time to head back to the field. Enough politics. As they have pointed out that there are some construction work going on at Ederu, which is also known as Ndida Well, I now set out to visit this particular site as they have led me to. This is the young man that I spoke with before now. So I walked down at this point. I had no keke driver anymore. I was just walking on my own, trying to look at the environment and enjoy what I see.
Like I keep telling us people, like I keep telling us, one thing that strikes me is whenever I walk down the streets of Okpoko, this is exactly Mugambo in Okpoko, and I can tell you that any of these houses here, I am definitely taller than them. You can see how the houses have sunk over the years. Look at this, how they've sunk and they've gone deep inside. And I'm here walking taller than the houses. Look at the gutters. They are definitely in a bad shape. So this is the ghetto of all ghettos. Hello. Good evening. So you can see these are the ghetto of all ghettos. You know, knowing this place about close to 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, this place wasn't like this, but it keeps deteriorating year after year. And sadly, we are now where we are, where virtually nothing happens. And we can always say that. Oh, these are. Come, can you now stop. Don't do that. Huh? So, Unune never. Look at these kids cooking. So, go see me Unune. Come. Go see me Unune. Show me, what are you cooking? Go me Unune. I see beans. Cabbage with that fear. And you're in cause of beginning stew. Fear and stew. I'm sorry. Maybe I can say. Yeah? Maybe I can say. What can I forget? Divine. So go on and sit there. Divine, go all the money is here.
Yeah.
But Lenea, where go?
Buy a meal.
Divine, my question, this divine, for 2 months. So, can I follow no jelly? Can't again. So divine, go on and see. So okay, I'm gonna catch up again.
You want to see? I will melt today.
On na banye mmiri. Mana ọ need to ọ ihe to ta ọ ya bụ ihe unu ga-eri elu ọ ihe to ta na ka ị na-etinye nri.
Mba ipuko eri. Wofo ya isi. Wofo ya.
unu ga-eri ya hapụ ama m nọ because na m
At this point, I left my little friends at their cooking point, at the point of mixing their street food. I gave them something to go buy proper food, and they were very, very joyous. We took pictures. You know, these are little moments that really brings one home. Off I went to the site known as Ndidawel Ederu. But in doing that again, I keep making friends of younger people. In the keke, again, I met these amazing woman and her son, who is full of smiles. Kamsi onye. Inemi fella. Mani inaga mao. Kamsi. Sebo ke na ga. This boy inaga mao. Kedafa ijaga mao. The street sense displayed by this young boy is incredible. He told me his name is Kamsi, whereas the mom said, actually, that's not his name. But I keep wondering, a young boy of this age, what would have prompted him to tell me a wrong name? But anyway, here am I at the much awaited Ederu Road. This road was a couple of days old the day I visited here, April 2023. I'm going to drop here on this keke. Then I will take another keke that will take me from one end of that road, that is Ederu Road by Oboduku Road, back to Onitsha Owerri Road. Enjoy this ride with me. Before I enter the next keke heading to Owerri Road, permit me to show you inside this Sakamori gutter by Relief Market, that is Oboduku Road. You can see how the people are dumping refuse. That's when I say that the people are partly to be blamed. They are using these huge water channel to dump refuge. This is Oboduku Road, Relief Market by Ederu. Yes, the government could be doing something, but the people must also help the government. One thing I have not noticed in all my driving within Anambra State is to see a single refuge collection point. So you believe in a Soludo, right? So who's that? Or the worse than this before?
How the work are doing?
Well, why? Soludo Okpoko.
Yes.
What am I London? So driver, do you even go and believe in a Soludo body?
Not right.
No sir.
Yes.
Kekoza de 1 year ago.
Yeah, Odrom Manaya.
Odrom Mananya.
Yeah, Odrom.
I'm gonna since young about na alubagi.
Enwe ihe dị iche.
Okay, onwe ihe dị iche ọbụ na alụsị gị.
Abisi gị ya. That is all for a bit of a try. What you do I want to know about last year. And I say because I want business now for mafia. I'll be back on now. You know some Nigeria. And I say if I go there. Along Niger Street, you go south and buy a Sabia, or brother got an arrow. Just small. I can say rebel say with the money. About one. My brother, the man is trying. Young man from my side. The man is trying. I can not I come now. The man try. Underwear.
Okay, you have K thousand. Many of you who knew St. Luke's, this is how St. Luke's looked like. St. Luke's Anglican Church, Okpoko. This is one of those places we came to worship in the early 90s, mid 90s and late 90s. Wow, I never believed that at some point we actually came here to worship. Wow. There was a new parish that was being built to the other side, and guys are playing games. This will bring this trip of my review of Soludo's promise to Okpoko 1 year after. And the review is very simple. There are divided opinions. There are those who do believe that he is not doing enough, whereas there are those who also believe that he is exceedingly doing more than he promised them. But in all, every one of them that I spoke to, even off camera, agree on the following point, that they are paying high tax. And some argue that they do not see what those taxes are being used for. They all agree that the refuge collection in Okpoko is abysmally poor, if non-existent. That there are no refuge containers, that is the refuge collection points. There are no ANSEPA personnel in some areas for weeks, yet they do pay for the refuge collection. This is one thing that the government must look into. Yes, some areas like Ederu that you can see here have got some water channels in place that links them to the Sakamori gutter. Obodupu Road deserves some great attention because that road is a major link road to Onitsha-Owerri Road and that tunnel. Join us for 2024 review. Please like, share and subscribe to NjenjeMediaTV.